Hey guys, Stephen Cox here, and today we're going to be learning a reggae groove. So if you like videos like these, please hit the like button and consider becoming a patron for the tabs. Alright guys, so to come up with this reggae bass line, basically what I did was I used a combination of arpeggios of the chords that we're playing, and a couple of chromatic notes here and there, and a few notes possibly from the scale as well, to create a line. Now, that's the note side of things. The other side, of course, the most important side, I think, in reggae music is rhythm. So with the rhythm, I varied it up a lot. I gave a lot of syncopation, but just fairly simple syncopations. And then I also left a lot of room in certain places to allow the song to breathe. So let me play the first part so you can hear what I'm saying, and then I'll explain what I was doing in those spots. So first what I was doing was just literally playing the notes of a C major arpeggio, since we're playing a C major chord. And we have a swung eighth note rhythm, so this is 1, 2, and 3, 4. So that's going to be the third fret on the A string 2 times, then the second fret on the D string, and the fifth fret. So literally just the first note of the arpeggio 3 times, then the third of the chord and the fifth of the chord. So the next measure, we start with a half note rest. So this allows the space that we need to breathe. So like if you were kind of humming along with this bass line, bum bum ba bum 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 bum, it kind of feels really natural to leave space right at that point. So I decided to leave a full 2 beats in that spot. First we have that C arpeggio. Then we have a D minor chord where we're silent for 2 beats, and then we're playing a D minor arpeggio, but instead of playing the root, third, fifth, we're playing it backwards. We're playing the fifth, the third, and then the root. So this is going to be the 7th fret on the D string, the 8th fret on the A string, and the 5th fret on the A string. So a little backwards D minor arpeggio after 2 beats of silence. So next we've got, so here this is going to be the 7th fret on the A string, and this is over an E minor chord. So we're going to use notes from an E minor arpeggio. So all we're doing there is that 7th fret on the A string is an E note. So that's our root. Then we're going to go to our 5th, but we're going to go to the 7th fret on the E string. So that's a B note, and that's our 5th of this chord. Then we're going to go back to the 7th fret on the A string and play 2 more E's. And then after this, we're going to play a 5th fret on the D string, and that note is the 3rd of our chord, which is a G note. So let's play that part so far from the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Alright, so next we have an F chord, and this is what we play over that. So once again, this is the notes of an F arpeggio. We have an F note, an A note, and a C note in the arpeggio. So we're going to start on an F, then play a C, then play an A. So we're kind of playing them out of order here. It's going to be root to a lower 5th to a 3rd. And so how we're going to do that, we're going to play the 8th fret on the A string, and then we're going to play it a second time, then the 8th fret on the E string, and the 5th fret on the E string. And the rhythm here is just slightly syncopated. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So the second time through, the verse part sounds like this. So what we're doing here is we're playing basically the same notes, a C major arpeggio. We're going to play two C's. And notice our first one is on the downbeat, and our second note is on the and after beat 2. So 1 and 2 and. So that's the 3rd fret on the A string, by the way. And then we're going to play the 2nd fret on the D string on beat 3. Then we're going to play the 5th fret on the D string. So 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So nothing too crazy there. Then we go on to our D minor measure. So this is a D minor chord. We're doing that backwards arpeggio. This is exactly like the second measure that we did. Technically it's the 3rd measure if you're following along on the sheet music. And I didn't mention this the first time, but these are triplet quarter notes. So this is where we space out 3 notes in the duration where normally 2 notes would go. So this is like 1, 2, triplet, right? They're like slow triplets. They're evenly spaced, but they're in the place where a half note would normally take up. So 1, 2, triplet. It's kind of weird. So once again, that's the 7th fret on the D string, the 8th fret on the A string, and the 5th fret on the A string. So now we have an E minor chord. Here we're just going to do the root and the 5th. So the root, the E, is a 7th fret on the A string. And we're going to play that one time. Then we're going to go to the 7th fret on the E string. And that's a B note, which is the 5th of the chord. So this is the root, then going down to the 5th, then going back to the root 3 times with this rhythm. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So it's a little bit syncopated. We're actually skipping over beat 4 this time in this measure. So 7th fret on the A string, 1 and 2, then 7th fret on the E string, and back to the 7th fret on the A string. So we have 3 roots at the end of that one. So let's play one more measure and then we'll play this all together. So then the next measure sounds like this. And basically we're just doing the F, which is the root of the chord. And then this time we're going to hold that out for a half note. Then we're going to go to a G, because we're changing chords to a G right here, to move into the verse section. Right there, we're just going to do a little chromatic thing from the G into an A, which is our next chord in the next measure. So that's just going to be 5th fret on the D string, 6th fret, and then 7th fret. And that 7th fret will be the first note of our verse part. So let's play from measure 6 through measure 9 right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. So now it's time for the verse. The majority of the verse is over an A minor chord, with just the ending being slightly different at the very end of the song. So here's the first part of the verse. 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically what we're doing here is an A minor arpeggio. If you know the scale degrees, this would be the 8th, the 5th, the 3rd, and the root of an A minor chord. So to play this, we're going to be playing the 7th fret on the D string, the 7th fret on the A string, the 3rd fret on the A string, and the 5th fret on the E string. And so the first 3 notes here, the first 3 are going to be triplet quarter notes again. So remember, that's where we have in a half note amount of space when we're splitting it into 3 equal parts. So 3, 4, triplet, 3, 4. So that's what we're doing there, just that arpeggio. And then we're going to go down to the 3rd fret on the E string. This is the 7th of that A minor chord. I think it just leads nicely back into an A, so you can kind of just think of it as an extra note that's not really in the chord. And then we're coming back to the root note of the chord. So that next part On the and of beat 4, we have that 3rd fret on the E string. Then we have 3 5th frets on the E string, which is just the root of our A minor chord, an A note. For the record, those other notes at the beginning were an A, an E, a C, and then down to an A. So then this next part is really syncopated. So I'm going to count it in real quick so you can hear how it sounds. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So the last 3 notes of that little figure are going to be triplet quarters, but we'll get to that in a second. So we're skipping over beat 1 and we're playing on the and of beat 1. We're going to play a C note, which is 3rd fret of the A string, then going to an A note as the 5th fret on the E string. So 1 and 2. Then we're going to slide really fast from 5 to 7. So right when we hit the note, we start the slide. And then we end up on the 7th fret, basically on the downbeat. Okay, and that note's a half note. Then our next measure, we've got, that's 5th fret on the D string, going down to the 7th fret on the A string. This is that G note again. It's technically not in our chord, but it's from our minor pentatonic scale. So I figure we can use it. It's kind of implying an A minor 7th chord where the 7th would be a G. It's a little confusing, but that's kind of where we're coming from for those that know theory, that are curious about that. But that's just the 5th fret going to the 7th fret, and that's just on the downbeat of measure 13. 1 and 2. And then we've got this little triplet quarter note figure, and that's just the 5th fret on the D string 2 times, and the 6th fret on the D string once. This is just a little chromatic walk from that G note. Then we're going to a G sharp just to get back into our A. It's 3 notes in a row. They don't have to be in the scale. We're just leading right back into our chord. So here's the last 5 measures of the song, and really it's the last 4 measures plus the last note. 1, 2, 3, 4. So first, we're outlining that A minor arpeggio once again. Going backwards down it. 8, 5, 3, 1. Or A, E, C, A. Or if we want the frets, that's the 7th fret on the D string, 7th fret on the A string, 3rd fret on the A string, and 5th fret on the E string. Then we've got the 3rd fret on the E string, then back to the 5th fret. Then this time we're going to go to the 3rd fret on the A string, which is also the 3rd of the A minor chord, then back to the 5th fret on the E string, which is the root of the A minor chord. And we're already familiar with the rhythm, so I'm not going to stress why I did that again. But I want to mention also at the end of this phrase, there are 2 beats of rest. Yet again, it just allows the song and the bass line to breathe. If you were singing along with it, it would allow you to breathe. So it kind of gives life to it in that sense. And then now we're going to an A flat chord, and we play this figure, which is literally just an A flat major arpeggio backwards. So that's going to be the 8th, the 5th, the 3rd, and the root. So that's going to be an A flat, an E flat, a C, and an A flat, which is also going to be the 6th fret on the D string, 6th fret on the A string, 3rd fret on the A string, and 4th fret on the E string. And then we're going to play that root again, so another 4th fret note on the E string, then the 3rd fret on the E string. Okay, and then we've got 3 more notes for the rest of the song, and that's just going to be 1st fret on the A string, 2nd fret on the A string, and we're going to end on the 3rd fret on the A string. So basically what was happening there is we were going back to a C chord, so I just went 2 steps behind the C chord so that we had notes that led chromatically back into C. So let's play the last 5 measures of the piece, starting from the A minor chord at measure 14. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now let's play the entire verse. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright guys, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed learning how to create a reggae bass line, or how I like to write my bass lines. So once again, if you want the sheet music for this, please become a patron, and if you like the video, please hit the thumbs up. I will see you guys on Thursday for the live stream and another video like this next Tuesday.